My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of The Invisible Man, and this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I remember watching this movie in theaters in 2020, and I was just blown away by how good this movie was. And I've watched it plenty of times since, and it's gotten to the point where I now consider this to be a whole classic. This movie is just perfection. So let's begin by talking about the cast, and Elizabeth Moss is phenomenal in this movie. She carries this movie so incredibly well, and she just showcases everything she needs to. You feel her depression. You feel her hopelessness. And it's a travesty she wasn't nominated for an Oscar for this movie. Just masterful work. You've also got Oliver Jackson-Cohen, who I don't know how much of this movie he's actually in, but whenever he is present, you can just sense what a slimy scumbag this guy is. He just is real menacing and manipulative, and you can get that from his short screen time. You've also got Harriet Dyer, who I thought did a very good job. I actually bought the fact that she was sisters with the main character. You've also got ADS Hodge, who I think does a real good job. He's this guy who's just trying to be the best possible friend and trying to understand, but even he falls short every now and again, and I thought he brought a lot of humanity to this character. You've also got Storm Reed, who I think does a real good job. It's not the most material, but she makes the most of it. And you've got Michael Dorman, who's just so sleazy and so scummy in a completely different way than Adrian, but he does so perfectly. So you got yourself a real strong cast, but the direction from Lee Winnell is absolutely masterful. Like, this movie is just brilliantly crafted from beginning to end. Like, even the opening credits of the waves hitting the title is great, and I love how that sound carries over into the opening scene where she's trying to escape Adrian and there's no music. It's just the sounds of waves crashing, and it's just so unbelievably intense. You cannot look away from this movie, and I think the use of negative space is masterful. Throughout the entire runtime, you're just scanning every frame of this movie, seeing if you can find anything. And it's just very unnerving stuff. The cinematography is just top notch. I also love how this movie can go from a horror movie to an action movie by the last act, and I think the action really delivers as well. The sound design in this movie is great. The CGI is absolutely seamless. The score by Benjamin Wallfish I thought added lots to the atmosphere of this movie. Like, the technical aspects of this movie, just perfection. Absolute perfection. And then we get to the script, and I also think it's really strong. Like, this is a movie about abuse and this woman being gaslit and nobody believing her, and how the rich and powerful can get away with anything. And there's just so much to this movie where you feel absolutely helpless for the main character. You understand why some people might think she sounds insane, that this guy has made an invisible suit. It's just. But, like, we know it's happening, and it's frustrating that nobody's believing her, and we know how she comes across. So, like, the movie just completely works in that way. And, like, especially when, like, Adrian is sending an email to the sister, and when he punches Sydney, like, those moments have weight. But there's also a few really effective moments. Like, I'll never forget seeing this movie in the theater and we get to the restaurant scene where Adrian kills the sister, and you can just hear everybody in the theater. Like, it's just one of those moments I'll never forget, and it still packs a real mean punch. Like, you just feel so awful for her. And then we also get the reveal that she's pregnant, and that has a lot of weight to it. Like, the script has all these twists and turns, and it just constantly keeps you engaged. It constantly just gets you invested in everything going on. Well, you just feel how dire everything is, and it's an emotional experience. It really is, and I do really like the ending. The note the movie ends on, I think it's effective. So yeah, like, this movie just completely works for me. I do have a couple minor complaints. One of them being that there was a moment where um, she has a pen and we don't see enough of the after effects of that. Like, it kind of seems to be something that just vanishes. Also, there's a few locations that should have cameras that I guess don't. Like, even if they addressed them, like, yeah, something went wrong with the cameras or something like that, just the bare minimum. But those issues don't really affect my viewing experience. I still just love this movie. I think it's brilliantly crafted by Lee Winnell. All the performances are top notch. The script is fantastic. I think this movie is just, I'll say it, a whole masterpiece. So I'll give The Invisible Man a 9 out of 10. Okay, have you seen The Invisible Man? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.